After all, she controlled the origin of Tendo. However, she had still underestimated the strength of this generation's divine master. At the side, Zhou Yafu looked at Seven. Let's fight first. Seven nodded. Okay. As soon as she finished speaking, she suddenly drew her sword. A sword pierced through the air. In the distance, Zhou Yafu punched out. Rumble. In an instant, a powerful force blasted everyone here over 10 kilometers away, and even Shao Qi was pushed almost 300 m back. This was the first time Shao Qi had retreated. The expressions of the experts of God Nation turned solemn. This was because Zhou Yafu had not taken a single step back. Seven looked at Zhou Yafu, 1 strong to defeat 10. You've reached the peak of transcendent martial god. No, I should say that you've taken half a step. Zhou Yafu nodded. I've been doing nothing all these years. Other than cultivating, I've only made a little progress in martial arts. Seven nodded. Then take a sword from me too. As soon as she finished speaking, she opened her palm, and a strand of sword energy appeared in her palm. Zhou Yafu was expressionless as he slowly clenched his right hand. Seven looked at Zhou Yafu. This sword technique has been in my head since I was born and I rarely use it. It's called seeking defeat. As soon as she finished speaking, the strand of sword energy in Seven's palm suddenly disappeared. Almost at the same time, Seven's face turned pale. The moment the strand of sword energy flew out, Zhou Yafu's eyes narrowed and he punched out. As he punched out, the space in front of him suddenly began to spin. One punch to change the laws of heaven and earth. However, Seven's strand of sword energy pierced through his arm and through his chest. Bang! In front of everyone's eyes, Zhou Yafu instantly retreated nearly 1,000 miles. On the other hand, Seven was blasted back repeatedly by Zhou Yafu's punch as well. But she quickly stopped, and then an illusory sword appeared above her. At the moment this illusory sword appeared, the expressions of everyone in the surroundings had changed, especially the white-haired woman. She knew that she'd underestimated this little girl. On the other hand, Yi Xian had a solemn expression on his face as well. Seven is definitely going to be serious. But it's normal. After all, Zhou Yafu is strong enough. Zhou Yafu's eyes narrowed slightly. At this moment, there was a solemn expression in his eyes. Right at this moment, the nearby white-haired woman suddenly said, "Forget it." Everyone gazed at the white-haired woman. She smiled. "I choose to leave." Seven gazed at the white-haired woman. The white-haired woman continued, "If the battle continues, then God Nation will definitely win. But it'll definitely be a Pyrrhic victory, right?" Zhou Yafu spoke solemnly. "It hasn't come to that." The white-haired woman shook her head. "We can't stop her. Even if we can stop her now, what about the future?" "The future?" Zhou Yafu fell silent. Seven is only a little over 10 years old. What about when she's 20 or 30? At that time, would anyone be able to stop her? So, the only way to stop her was to eliminate her now. However, even someone as strong as Zhou Yafu didn't dare say that he could kill Seven. Zhou Yafu sighed softly and then he gazed at Seven. "Even though she has grasped the Tendo quintessence of the chaotic universe, you should know that she hasn't enslaved all living beings. Moreover, with her here to suppress and control the number of experts, the chaotic universe will be able to survive for a long time." Seven chuckled. "The Tendo quintessence has always belonged to all living beings." Zhou Yafu spoke solemnly. "Then do you know that humans are greedy by nature? Once all the Tendo quintessence is returned to the chaotic universe, then it's very likely that everyone will devour it without restraint. At that time, the Tendo quintessence will be completely absorbed, and the chaotic universe won't be able to produce any more Emperor Realm experts." Seven shook her head. "You're wrong." Zhou Yafu looked at Seven and Seven continued, "She grasped the Tendo quintessence for herself. Not only that, but under her interference, the chaos below will never end, and she'll control everything from above." At this point, she looked at the white-haired woman. "You think of yourself as a god, as the master of the chaotic universe. My theocracy doesn't want a god. As for the quintessence, don't worry, my theocracy will take care of it. Perhaps we can't make everything fair, but we'll make sure that every talented and hard-working person has a chance to reach Emperor Realm. Many people don't lack hard work or talent, they lack opportunities." At this time, Yi Xian suddenly spoke up. "You're right, if I had Tendo quintessence, I would have reached Emperor Realm long ago." Everyone, the white-haired woman glanced at Yi Xian. "City Lord Yi, keep jumping around. You don't have many good days left." Yi Xian spoke in a low voice. "What do you mean?" The white-haired woman replied flatly. "What do I mean? There are a lot of people who want that treasure of yours." Yi Xian remained silent. Many people wanted his tower and they were all very powerful people. The white-haired woman had said that this tower would bring him many benefits, but it would also bring him endless trouble. What a disaster. Yi Xian sighed. Xiao Ta, don't you have anything to say? The prison pagoda shook slightly and Xiao Linger's voice rang out. It said to move the 6th floor away. Xiao Ta, Yi Xian. At this moment 7 suddenly said, either leave or die. The white-haired woman fell silent. She was definitely unwilling to leave just like that. But if she didn't leave, Zhou Yafu alone wouldn't be able to stop 7 and theocracy. After all, theocracy was so strong, so how could it not have a trump card? Right at this moment, a figure suddenly flashed over from the distant horizon. It was especially so for Tiandao because she sensed danger. It was even more dangerous than Xiao Qi. Xiao Qi's expression was quite solemn. After the World Prison Pagoda was activated, even she sensed danger. After it activated the World Prison Pagoda, the giant's expression changed as well. Solemn. Yi Xian's expression was quite ferocious. Do you all think I'm easy to bully? As soon as he finished speaking, he pressed his right hand down. Bang. The World Prison Pagoda descended. In the next moment, the giant's body turned illusory. At this moment, a powerful aura surged out from within the giant's body. Rumble. Yi Xian seemed as if he'd suffered a heavy blow, and blood seeped out from the corner of his mouth. Meanwhile, Yi Xian suddenly roared furiously, suppress. The World Prison Pagoda shook violently, and then a ray of red light swept down. In an instant, the giant's body started to vanish inch by inch. The expressions of everyone here changed when they witnessed this scene. The white-haired woman took a deep and long glance at Yi Xian. At this moment, she noticed that this fellow wasn't easy to bully. In next to no time, the practically invincible giant's body started to vanish inch by inch. In a short period of time, only half his body remained, and the giant actually wasn't able to resist at all. Right when the giant was about to vanish completely, he suddenly placed the tombstone in front of him, and then his body started to burn. Burn. The giant burned his body madly. In the end, his body transformed into strands of energy that entered the tombstone. It didn't take long for the tombstone to start trembling violently, and it didn't take long for the giant to vanish completely. However, the tombstone had split open from the middle, and there was a bottomless black vortex within it. A moment of silence ensued before a voice resounded, "What an ant from a lowly world! How audacious!" Meanwhile, the World Prison Pagoda returned to the center of Yi Xian's forehead. The white-haired woman gazed at Yi Xian with a hostile expression. At this moment, Yi Xian's countenance was pale as a sheet of paper, and he seemed extremely weak. Obviously, it was definitely the best opportunity to attack. Meanwhile, Nangong suddenly said, "That's a teleportation formation." Everyone gazed at the tombstone. A teleportation formation? Someone's going to teleport over? P.S. There's more. With that said, he flew into the palace. The person on the 6th replied. After entering the hall, Yi Xian instantly sensed an extremely evil aura. This aura made him shiver all over and he felt very uncomfortable. Yi Xian secretly put up his guard. This place doesn't look like a good place. The person on the 6th suddenly said, "Enter the depths." Yi Xian hesitated for a moment before he said, "Senior, you're not thinking of taking over my body, are you?" The person on the 6th replied indifferently, "Are you suffering from persecution? Taking over your body? You have this stupid tower who can take over your body. Also, I'm really a good person, do you understand?" Good person. Yi Xian's expression was quite strange. "Senior, I'm a little panicked when you say that." The person on the 6th replied, "Then go back." Yi Xian smiled, "I'm just joking. If I didn't believe in you, I wouldn't have come here." With that said, he walked into the depths of the palace. After a while, Yi Xian stopped. In front of him was a pool of blood, full of blood, but it seemed to have solidified. Yi Xian was a little puzzled. "Senior, this is?" The person on the 6th replied, "Ancient demon god's blood." Yi Xian asked, "Ancient demon god?" The person on the 6th replied, "A very long time ago, very powerful." Yi Xian asked, "How powerful?" The person on the 6th replied, "The very powerful kind." Yi Xian asked again, "Is he as powerful as the sword owner at the top of the tower?" The person on the 6th was silent for a moment before he said, "If you continue to argue with me, I might beat you to death." Yi Xian. P.S. I'm a little busy today, so I have to go somewhere else. I hope I still have time to write when I come back. If I don't update tomorrow or the update is late, that's normal. I'm delayed because of something, not because I'm going to a healthcare center or something like that. You have to believe in my character, understand? I'm really not a greedy person. The black-clothed young woman was at a loss for words. P.S. Actually, I'm not a greedy person. I just like the feeling of receiving monthly passes from all of you. I don't really like such vulgar things. As someone who writes books, all I want to do is write them well. I've never cared about monthly passes or rewards. Really. I feel that monthly passes and money are vulgar. All of you know that I'm not a vulgar person. You're tuning in to the Han Lee's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.